And we welcome you into the very first edition of the Dodger Poke Report main feature cut. Each week, Dodger Poke Report tries to feature a new prospect in the Dodgers organization. The latest feature was on 6'7" pitching prospect Mark Washington. Washington is a prospect from the Pennsylvania area, went to high school at Episcopal Academy, went to college at Lehigh, so not only is he very tall at 6'7", not only is he very talented as a professional pitcher, he is also extremely intelligent. Now, each week when we do these cut-ups, what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the one or two things that prospect does that may separate them from all the other pitchers or all the other prospects that will allow them to not only make the major leagues, but stick with the major leagues. So what is that skill we're going to talk about with Mark Washington? Well, today we're going to talk about what he calls vert. Now, what vert simply means is vertical drop on his pitches. Being 6'7", with the way that he releases the baseball, obviously the baseball comes out very tall to hitters. I'm going to put the picture on the screen here so you can see it for yourself. And it comes out very tall, and then obviously it drops a lot to get into the strike zone. Now, what you're seeing here at the top picture, both the top left and top right, that is Mark Washington's fastball. The bottom picture is the changeup. So what you're seeing here is the fastball and changeup both come out very high out of the hand. The fastball is shoulder high, if not top of the shoulders. But the thing about that makes it very effective is with his fastball, it has what's called a riding effect. It looks almost like to the hitter that the pitch is rising. Now, obviously, we know that's not possible for a pitch to rise from a pitcher that is throwing off of a mound, but it does look like that to the hitter just simply because it doesn't drop. Now, that brings us to the next thing that Mark Washington does, which is what he calls tunneling. Now, tunneling simply means that Mark uses everything off of his fastball. So where you see the fastball is released here, high in the zone, he will start his off-speed stuff at the same spot, high in the zone, as you see the changeup on the bottom picture. It comes out of the exact same tunnel, but instead of staying flat like the fastball did and giving the rising effect, the changeup actually drops, and we'll see in the video later that I'm going to play for you that this changeup actually drops almost all the way to the bottom of the zone. So that vertical drop combined with the tunneling effect where he starts his pitches out in the same tunnel, but then they have different movement, I think is going to allow Mark Washington to be able to get elite hitters out whenever his changeup and off-speed stuff is working and do it fairly consistently and at a fairly easy rate for him. So let's go ahead and move on to the video. I'm going to show you both pitches, both the fastball and the changeup. This first one here is the fastball. We're going to see him release it. We're going to see the apex come out of his hand right here, and then the apex is right there, top of the shoulders, and then look how it looks like it's just rising and riding in on the hands of the hitter. That's a professional hitter that has no shot. Now let's watch the tunneling effect. Let's watch the changeup come out of the hand of Mark Washington and reach the apex at almost the exact same spot the fastball did, but instead of riding in on the hands, instead it drops almost all the way to the bottom of the zone. Now, the hitter in this picture, or in that video, was Luken Baker. Luken Baker is 6'4", and I can tell you, he went to TCU. I'm an Oklahoma State fan. I saw him in college. He is a very good hitter, and being 6'4", he's very tall. So you got to see the vert or vertical drop on that changeup to him, and to be honest, as you saw that pitch, that wasn't that great of a changeup for Washington. It landed in the middle of the zone, and it looked hittable, but because it dropped so much, Baker was not able to square it up. He had a routine ball to center field, and he was out. That gives Mark Washington a large margin for error, in my opinion, and those two effects with the vertical drop combined with the tunneling is why I think Mark Washington will not only make the major leagues, I think he will stick in the major leagues, and I think he is a very exciting prospect in the Dodgers organization. We hope that you enjoyed the very first main feature cut on Dodger Poke Report, and we hope you tune back in as we bring you more and more on Dodger Poke Report.